Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Just because I cover Israel and their world over there, it doesn't mean that I'm going to ignore our world. So, back in business. We got Russia fighting Al Capone in Ukraine again. They've been doing that since the other guys were doing what they do best in Middle East. So, we find out from the Ukrainians that the Russians are continuing and are escalating their offensive operations in certain parts of the front line. And the Voice of Ukraine reports this. So it's not Russia Today or Sputnik or whatever. Let me share this little article with you. So, New Voice of Ukraine today, October 11th, 2023. Russia escalating offensive around Lyman, Kupyansk in eastern Ukraine, says Ukrainian military. So multiply that by 3. So whenever these guys, I realize that by covering these guys, whenever these guys are telling you, oh, they advanced this much, the enemy advanced this much, imagine 3 times, actually. When they say we advanced this much, no, just divided by 3. That's how it goes. And both sides, the Russians are kind of like 50. So if they say they advanced this much, they probably advanced half. And when they say the Ukrainians advanced, let's say this much, they maybe advanced double. That's okay. So that's 50% versus, I don't know, 33% or 66%. Depends how you look at it. So Russian invasion forces are resuming attacks in the Lyman, Kupyansk sector of the front, increasing the intensity of shelling and conducting airstrikes, the Ukrainian military Eastern grouping spokesman Ilya Yevlash said on Ukrainian national television on October 11th. I'm going to share a map with you. Let us get some more information first. The enemy cannot advance along the 140 kilometers at once. No, just at twice. So it's focusing its attention near the towns of Ivanivka and Sinkivka in Kharkiv Oblast, or Kharkov by the Russians, as well as near Makiivka, Yevlash said. So let's look over these things. Shinkivka, Pakivka, Ivanivka, all right. Here is the map. So they're talking about Kupyansk and Lyman. That is right here. This is Kupyansk right here, and Lyman is somewhere right here. So this is right here on the bigger scale right here. It's this area where the Russians are conducting their offensive operations. So they were talking about Kupyansk, which is right here. The thing is, these guys, the Russians, and this is not a, how should I put it, very detailed map, but nevertheless, we know where that thing happens between that and here. Lyman is right here is Lyman. So, and besides, this is a Russian map, and their names are different than the Ukrainians, sometimes so different that really means something else. I'm going to give you an example. Bakhmut. Bakhmut is Artemovsk. Russians call it after Artemovsk. Ukrainians call it Bakhmut. So find Artemovsk on a Ukrainian map. Won't gonna find it. So my point is, this is the area where the Russians are conducting their offensive. Right there, that area. All right, so let's go back to these guys. Earlier, Russian troops tried to advance near Novoyekhorivka, but having received a good kick in the teeth, bang, from the Ukrainian armed forces, they abandoned their plans, Yevlash said. Oh, it was a kick or a kick? I'm sorry, I can't use. I'm in my underwear, I can't show you my... Anyway, for some time, we have been observing a kind of lull, he said. And I'm quoting, and now, about a week ago, they started to resume their offensive actions. The first ones were such short, isolated incidents when mostly these Storm Z and Storm Assault unit were assaulting. Now, we are seeing more serious intrusions. Earlier, the spokesman said that the most difficult frontline area is currently the Lyman-Kupyansk front. That is right here, as I said, right here. Okay, where the situation is more dynamic. That's the word. I mean, you would see, let's say, who should I say? I don't know. Someone gets a beating, and that's the situation is dynamic over there. Okay, man, dynamic. That's the word. Then in the Bakhmut sector. So it's more dynamic than in Bakhmut. The Russians are reportedly forming 12 assault companies in the Lyman Kupyansk sector, numbering about 2,000 people. 2,000 people, come on, man. That's a high school. Anyway, it says here, on August 27, Yevlash said the Russians had deployed about 110,000 troops in the Lyman Kupyansk area. So now they see the result of that. So yeah, the war is not over there. It's not going to be over until the Russians are going to break the Ukrainian defenses, or if something happens with Putin together with about 300 other people, but in his proximity. But even if that happens, we're going to have a problem, because there are probably going to be some generals over there that will not fall. If those generals will not fall, it's going to be bad, because probably they will have access to nuclear weapons. So I think that as a normal, at least normal person, Putin would think, okay, there's a possibility these guys are going to blow me up. Not blow, okay, you got that. So not that kind of blow up, but that kind of blow up or blow. So I'm guaranteeing you, he thought about how can I preserve the Russian nation, because these guys are going to get up. That's for sure. They're going to get up. So he wants to make sure that probably if he is blown up and other people want to do this and that, he's going to probably create such big problems for the these guys here, and not only that, for the global infrastructure, that it's going to be even worse than having one guy instead of having 5 guys with nuclear weapons. And that's only one hint. That's a lot that will happen. So even if Putin goes out, I'm guaranteeing Russia will not collapse. I think they're smarter than that. I don't have any hard evidence, but I have this and I have my experience, and I think, and I don't think that Putin is like, oh, if I die, Russia dies. No, he doesn't think that way. These guys want to make him look like he thinks that way. He's just about himself and dictator and Hunter Biden, Hunter Putin, but it's not the case. Not the case. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.